So this is body paragraph number what? Number 1, and how do we know that?
It's the second paragraph of the essay.
It is the second paragraph of the essay, but in particular, if we take a look at this thing right here that I have highlighted, this is our what? It's our thesis statement, right? And we know that a thesis statement is made up of what? 3 reasons and a claim, right? And the claim here is that snowmobiles should be banned from Yellowstone National Park, right? What's reason number 1? Ryder?
Because they create air and noise pollution.
All right, because of air and noise pollution. So this is going to be what? The topic of
Body paragraph 1.
body paragraph number 1. Good. So if we scroll down, let's see how this person did. It says, it may be hard to imagine that snowmobiles could cause an air problem, but they can. Does that ring a bell? Okay, that's exactly what they said in the thesis statement. Good. Okay, so this reason acts as a topic sentence for body paragraph what? Number 1. Good. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll label that. So this is our reason. Good. All right, so it goes on to say that air pollution at the park has already become so bad that fresh air has to be pumped into where the snowmobiles line up, and park rangers have been forced to wear respirators. The Blue Water Network, an environmental group, reports that the most common snowmobiles, those with 2-stroke engines, discharge up to 1/3 of their fuel unburned into the environment and are one of the largest unchecked sources of hydrocarbon pollution nationwide. So this piece right here that I have in brackets, what's that?
Evidence.
That's our evidence. Good. And how do we know that?
It cites a source.
Okay, so it lists the source, which is what? The source's name is
The Blue Water Network.
the Blue Water Network. Okay, so this right here tells us that this information is coming from an outside source. So this is our evidence. How else do we know that this is a source? What else do we see in the brackets? Natalie? Okay, good. So we see our quotation marks. And what else? What's one more indicator that this is coming from an outside source? What do we think, Maddox?
The in-text citation.
There we go. This thing, the in-text citation. Thank you. All right. So we have our reason. We have our evidence that supports that reason, right? So the next part says the carbon monoxide pollutants are directly linked to the snowmobiles and pose a serious health risk to both people and animals. Such a level of pollution is a health risk to the park's employees and visitors, with documented cases where people fell physically ill. What comes after the evidence?
The warrant.
The warrant. Thank you. All right. So here's our warrant. And what exactly does a warrant do? What's its function? It explains
The evidence
how the evidence does what?
affects your topic.
Not affects your topic. What do we think? It explains how the evidence supports your argument. All right. So how do we think that they did with their warrant? Do we think that their warrant explained how this piece of evidence worked to support their argument that snowmobiles should be banned? What do we think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are they saying? The carbon monoxide pollutants
Can be lethal and hurt both animals and people.
Yeah. So the carbon monoxide pollutants are directly linked to those snowmobiles, right? The things that they are trying to argue should be banned. Okay? and that they pose a serious health risk to both people and animals. They did a pretty nice job with their warrant, right? They explained how this piece of evidence is working to support the fact that snowmobiles should be banned.